New journal. Who dis? I managed to fill up my reading journal, my last reading journal, which I posted about in December or January last year. I don't remember, and I am too lazy to look it up. So I started a new one. This beautiful thingamathing thing. Again, we're going with the basic bitch setup. I have a total of 3 beautiful colors. This is just a random highlighter from Stabilo in like a pastel green. And then we have 2 random ass, very basic Crayola super tips in 2 different kinds of green. And a very chewed up ballpoint pen, also by Stabilo, which I think increases the price tag of this setup by like 200%. I don't know, Stabilo's expensive. This book, you can't get, because this book was a gift from my best friend. She hand-bound this thing. You may notice the design might be inspired by the Magnus Archives a little bit, or a lot bit. And this is a very, 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 very amazing gift from my best friend, and I love her for it. Opening it up, you see more green. We have a theme in this one, and a lovely little quote. I'm not responsible for this. This book came with the quote, and it's very cute. And then I actually put some effort in my opening pages by using washi tape and a Magnus Archive sticker. Riveting content. Just like the last time, we have my first page with where we start. And if you compare this page to the last time you saw a page like this, you will see that all of these numbers have increased. Yeah, I don't have a problem, you have a problem, I can stop whenever I want to. Then we have my reading goals. They have moved into the spread with the this is where we start, simply because I now have a full spread and not just a single page. So I try to lower number of empty pages, because this, I actually give a shit about this notebook. So yeah, we have my reading goals. Again, it's just 52 books, 200k pages, simply because Storygraph gives me the option to actually set a page goal, listen to more audiobooks, and then we have a wonderful typo in handwriting, beautiful, with increasing the diversification of my reading in terms of genre and representation. So far, I'm good on the representation part. I'm not so good on the genre part, because the genre always fucks me over. I'm trying here. Then we have a new spread. I tried a lot of new things in this new journal because I just tired of my old journal. So we have a complete reading log for this year. Everything I read so far, I have to put in the dates which I started most of these still, because I, again, am lazy and don't like to look things up. This is so tedious. So yeah, I have the title of the books I've read, I have the date from, usually, it should say when I started a book, and then it says when I finished a book, and then my rating. In this type of setup, there is no half-star, quarter-star rating. So I will round up or down depending on what I gave the book and depending on what I feel. And this line is where the 52 cuts off. So once I reach this line, I know I have reached my yearly goal. But because I know that I always go over this yearly goal, I have a bit more. This might not be enough space for everything that I read, depending on what I'm going to read in the second half of the year. So I might need to just slide in another piece of paper with a list or something, should I get to this point. Then we have my series tracker with a beautifully solved problem in terms of spelling. I like it, Picasso. And this time I did a different thing with the series tracker, because if I zoom in real quick, you can't really tell on my camera because I have a shitty camera, but I have a system now that is color-coded even on the level of the boxes. Since the number of series I'm reading has increased, this list has gotten longer. Ha! And to hammer home the point of me being a basic bitch about things, we have, of course, the misspelling of the word tracker, and we also have a funny little skip that is totally not... This wasn't planned, it just happened, so I just went with it. But we're not about perfection in this. It would be nicer to have it perfect, but I don't care, because it has a purpose to fulfill, and it fulfills this purpose if there are mistakes like this or not, I don't care. So here you can see the extent of my shame that is starting series but never finishing them. It's a lot. And as you can see, I now have a system for the whole color coding thing. I even color code the boxes. The camera is not really picking it up, but this is a green box, this is a black box. So now when I look at this, I know exactly if I even have the next book in a series on my shelf, which in a lot of these series is not the case. In my defense, there is like one series that doesn't even have a next book out yet. So yeah, but yeah, I really need to get my shit together when it comes to series. And then we have the next new thing in my reading journal, which is this. The books per month spread has shrunken down and changed and shifted and is now a nice little compact thing where I track A, how many books I've read, and B, what kind of format they have, so I can better quantify my goal of diversifying the reading format. Just for example, I set the goal of reading more audiobooks and now I can see if I actually do it. So far so good, because I actually listened to more audiobooks than I have ever listened to before. And I just like to see this bar fill up. I'm a sucker for a good progress bar, so this is so up my alley. And then we have this thing. This came to me as a semi-random thought. We all love a good bingo board, right? And I saw Ren from the Reading Ren and Kirsty from K-Best Bookish do buzzword bingos. So that was partially an inspiration, but also every other book bingo board out there. And I'm not looking to fill this up in any certain time frame. I decided I'd do it like this, where I color in a frame for when I read one of these prompts. I'm not doubling up, so every frame is one book that I read for this prompt. And should I read, for example, another comic, I would color this in with another color. I would trace the next frame around it. And then I basically can see how many I read of these prompts, I guess. And should I ever be lost on what to read next in a mood reading month like I declared July to be, I can always refer back to this and get like a little inspiration. That's why these prompts are so generic. Like, I have a bunch of audiobooks, I have a bunch of indie published books, so this is purposefully vague, and I said that I started this to see when I can like get a bingo, I guess. I don't know. I put this in here on a whim. I did not have any grand plans for it, which is also why there is a second page completely blank right next to it, because maybe I want to have another bingo at one point. I don't know. Maybe I make a new bingo once I have a bingo. Just rearrange all of these things. I don't know. I don't care. We'll see where this is going. Maybe I just put my 5-star list in here because I did not put that in when I set this up. But now I'm kind of regretting not putting it in. So maybe I put in my 5-star list after this. And this is what my monthly setups are going to look like going forward, with a very simple design where we have the name of the book that I read, the rating I give, the page number, and what format it is. I have some really crappy drawings in here just to hammer home the fact that I cannot draw for the life of me. So we have the print, the digital, and the audiobook icon, I guess. And because this is one of my favorite spreads, I kept this one, which is the how many pages did I read in a day. And I have, again, my trusty little progress bar thingamathing thing, and then the actual numbers, which then by the end of the month do a math thing, and then I know how much I read. And I also redesigned the way I do my reviews, because I felt like it. So now you get a box for the title, author, and the rating. Again, no half or quarter stars, we just do full stars in this household, or in this reading journal. I actually do a lot of quarter and half stars, because I can't decide on things for the life of me. And then we have started, finished, the format, the page number, and we have a box for prompt and a readathon question mark, where I then can say, okay, yes, this followed a prompt, be it from the bingo board or from a readathon that might be attached to the whole thing. So when the readathon is a yes, then I will put in the prompt. Yeah, it's self-explanatory. Then we have the part where I put in the blurb for the book, and then my opinions on shit, because I like to have opinions on shit. And as you can see, I'm not always filling up the full page with what I'm writing, which is totally fine because I have fancy washi tapes and stickers I can put in here. But yeah, I want to minimize blank space in this journal for once in my life. And then yeah, here you can see I still need to write the blurb for the book that I finished last night. And that's it. Everything else in this journal is blank so far. And I hopefully will be able to fill the bitch up real good. That's it. Another basic bitch reading journal setup thingamathing thing with a really pretty handmade leather bound journal. Bye.